I have been a collector of songs for about 60 years. I've filled up about 5 notebooks with songs, with just the words and the chords. And some of those, and I go back over them, I can't remember how they go. There are a few that I can't remember the tune because it's just got the words and the chords and no melody written there. But that's only a few of all of the hundreds that I've collected over the last 55 to 60 years. Most of them I can definitely remember. And I have been lucky in those years to come across some people, crossed paths with people who have written their own gospel songs and shared them with me. So I've got the words and the chords of all of Bob Wolfgram's songs that he started writing when he was a teenager, and he was part of our family back then. And I must have used over 100 of his over the years. But back in about 1970, there was this movement down in Sydney called S.A.L.T. Were any of you old enough to be around in that time with me? Yes, thank you. Have a look at that slide up there. I've got some pictures here, courtesy of Don and Fran. Thank you very much, Don and Fran, for giving me these pictures. S.A.L.T. stood for Share a Little Truth. And one of the activities that the Greater Sydney Youth, SDA Youth, organised was street preaching. But street preaching for us back then wasn't in the street, it was at the Sydney Domain, which is between the Sydney Hospital and the art gallery. Do you know that area? And that's where people would gather on Sunday mornings to listen to people get up on their soapboxes and talk about politics and anything. And we used to take a stage and get up and share a little truth. Can we have the next slide, please, Talia? There's the S.A.L.T. group up singing on the stage at the Domain. And in that picture, I can see Bev and Chris Till, who shared some original songs with me. I've even done one of theirs at church sometime. On the left, I can see Brian Patterson with his guitar covered in S.A.L.T. stickers. Behind him is Bruce Judd in the white t-shirt, and Archie Steele, and there's Brian Craig. And over on the right, I think, is Graham Evans. And they're up on the stage singing. And if you show me the next one, please, Talia. There in the middle, behind Brian Craig, is Bruce Judd. Bruce Judd, brother of Warren Judd, who was one of the big organisers and one of my best musical mentors back in that era. Bruce was his younger brother, and he was heavily involved in the S.A.L.T. In fact, he even wrote the theme song for us, which we'll sing in a moment. He's an architect. He designed the college university church, as well as many, many buildings over the years. But he also wrote beautiful songs. And maybe we can start with I want to pay tribute to some of his songs. We'll shorten it in the interest of getting over and back to our lessons. But let's start with his little theme song, Share a Little Truth with Somebody. Share a little truth with somebody, show them the way to go. Share a little truth with somebody, there's so many that need to know. Stop now and look around you. How many do you see who really know about Jesus and know he died on a tree? Share a little truth with somebody. Show them the way to go. Share a little truth with somebody. There's so many that need to know. So that was the theme song that we used to get up and sing at the Domain. Here's another little prayer that he wrote that we have used over the years, definitely at our church in the past. It's called Stay Close by My Side, a little prayer by Bruce.
I don't always say the things I should say when I'm being heard. I don't always do the things I should do to live by your word. I don't always go to where I should go to feel right inside, but Lord, I do want to try, so will you while I try, stay close by my side.
May the words that I say, the things I should say when I'm being heard.
I will try to do the things I should do to live by your word.
I will try to go to where I can go and feel right inside, yes, Lord.
I do want to try, so will you while I try, stay close by my side.
And there was another verse, but we're shortening this a little bit, please. One of the lovely little songs that I remember him writing and sharing with me was one that was really never done in public very often. It's almost a direct quote from John 14. Peace I leave with you. And again, we won't do the whole song, we'll just shorten it a little bit. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give unto you.
Not as the world can offer, give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled or afraid.
For I have made a way for
Peace in your life.
I shortened that slightly. I won't shorten this next one. One of my favourites of his that he wrote, and I remember his, I was going to say sister-in-law, it was Warren's sister-in-law, Lynn, who sang it and recorded it on some of the albums that they did back in that era. It's called Jesus. You've probably heard it before.
Jesus, what kind of man was he to die for unworthy me? It makes me want to say thank you, Lord, for doing what you did for me. Jesus, he never said a word when they spat in his face. Humbly he bowed his head in shame and suffered to give me a place. Jesus, they hung him on a cross, dying. They heard him pray, Father, he said, forgive them, please. They know not what they do today. Jesus, what kind of God was he to come to this world of sin? It grieves me that he should come so far to save us from the mess we're in.
Just some of Bruce's. Another little Christmas one that he wrote that we use a lot is that every time I see a baby, I think of the baby Jesus. He could have sent a grown man flashing from the sky, and instead he sent a baby who came to the world to die. Bruce was a big part of S.A.L.T, and I thank him so much for some of these songs that he shared with me all those years ago. And we're blessed to have people who still write beautiful gospel songs, aren't we? A gospel song can preach a powerful sermon. And I pray that you enjoy the gospel songs that this church does use and share in our worship services.